Okay, so because Russell Brand is in the news, we got to talk about it. I think that it's incredibly important anytime someone comes forward that those claims are absolutely investigated, and the consequences should be appropriate for what was done. And something that has really sort of flooring me right now is watching people talk about how it's perfectly okay to dehumanize sex workers, but then also complaining that people who have done sex work, who are victims, don't come forward. And something that someone had pointed out to me was in Russell Brand's book, I guess it's called The Bookie Book, he actually has a little paragraph in here about a time he saw a sex worker. And this is what he said verbatim. Eventually, she agreed to have sex, but a kind of weary, half-hearted, semi-erect, bored, disappointing bit of sex for which I'd paid a lot of money. During this act of tawdry friction, her phone rang. Could you turn the phone off? I asked. I can't relax. But she took the call. Another 20 seconds of boring rubbish goes past. Then the phone rings again, and this is the worst act of misogyny I've committed since the spitting debacle, took the phone out of her hand and threw it at the wall. Slow motion. It hits the wall and smashes. She looks at me. Now, after this came out, there is someone named Peter Tatchell, who wrote a piece about it, and this is why sex workers hesitate to come forward, because he said, quote, Russell's kiss and tell about his brief sexual relationship was expressed in a vulgar way and was perhaps a breach of her privacy, but worse than the kiss and tell revelation, but is it worse than the kiss and tell revelations we read every day? Well, you shouldn't be talking about this sort of stuff. He noted that the sex worker is not some innocent convent girl. She admits she slept with Brand and works as a burlesque dancer, yet she claims his jokes have damaged her public image and hurt her feelings. Oh, please.
That's not innocent. Innocent of what?
Right,
of what transgression?
Being a burlesque dancer, apparently. Like, being anything sex work adjacent obviously means that you're not allowed to have privacy and you're not allowed to not be a victim of slut shaming. And this is what I talk about when I talk about the way that stigma hurts people, the way that, stigma has caused pain to sex workers, because this piece came out in 2008. He was defending this in 2008. It's 2023, y'all. And in 2008, when people came forward and said Russell Brand was doing bad things, people said, well, you're a burlesque dancer. You're not allowed to have feelings about it. And again, when I cannot stress enough with the stigma that this is why stigma kills, this is how stigma hurts. What we're doing is creating a society where people say it's okay to victimize people who are in the sex work industry. You're only a sex worker. It's different for you. It's not. People are people. If it's wrong to do something to a person, then it's wrong to do something to a person, whether they're a sex worker or not. Okay? Yeah? All right.
Yeah, I'll email Julie Bendel about that.